Ladies and gentlemen, podcasting since 2005. You're listening to Gamertag Radio. With your host, podcaster Hall of Famer Danny Pena, the always opinionated Paris Lilly, and from outside of the norm, Peter Toledo. This is Gamertag Radio.
All right, welcome to Gamertag Radio, episode 974. This is your host, Danny, and joining me this week, co-host of the show, we have Paris in the house. What's going on, Paris?
Hey, good morning. How you doing? See, your picture's up. Everyone can see your beautiful face on Twitch.
Yeah.
This is great, man. Huh?
You know who took this picture? JVB. Yeah.
Shout out to JVB. Been a long time. You know what? Speaking of him, just real quick, let's pause on that real quick. Obviously, you're in New York. You got to meet up with him, talk to him, and me and him had a nice conversation on the phone as well. And he's doing good, and makes me very happy to hear that. So shout out to JVB. Hopefully, we'll get to talk again real soon.
Yeah, man. Actually, a lot of people have been hitting me up, Paris. They want to know what are our plans for our 1000th episode and also for their 15th anniversary. We're still working on it.
Yep.
Still working on it. We'll see. But it was interesting reading everybody's ideas. And one of the things that people were bringing up was, bring the whole crew back, like, just of them leaving messages or something, So I'm thinking that will work better on, I think, the 15th anniversary, right? Get all the old school co-hosts back, leave some messages. I think that would be cool. I'm gonna work on that. We'll see. But so a couple things. First of all, head over to gamertagradio.com. Post your comments and feedback. Also, listen to our past episodes and make sure to share it. Share with your friends. Tell them to subscribe. Go to any podcast app. Just search for Gamertag Radio. We're there, and give us a follow, subscribe, or even post a review. That will help us out big time, man. So
send us your feedback or questions. Give us a call at 786-273-7GTR. Email us at fanmail@gamertagradio.com or leave a message on speakpipe.com/gamertagradio.
I found this picture a couple of days ago, and people are saying that this could be the PlayStation 5 dev kit. What are your thoughts of this weird, crazy design? Because usually when a new console is coming up, companies will get like the dev kits early, and sometimes those are not the official design of the console compared to like the retail. They just have this as just for dev kits, like, hey, this is it. But could this be, in your opinion, Paris, the design? It looks pretty big. PlayStation 5.
It wouldn't shock me if that's a dev kit at all, because I saw a picture of what the PS4 dev kit looked at, and it looked crazy too.
Really? Was it big? Was it big too?
Yeah. Well, yeah. It was like big giant like looking PC thing. So it wouldn't surprise me if that's what it is. And again, it's the dev kit. It's not what we're gonna get. In November of next year when PlayStation 5 comes out. I'm sure they'll have a nice sleek design, make it sexy looking and all that stuff. Mm-hmm. So, it's probably real if you ask me. Hey, as long as they can do the job of helping them make whatever these next gen games are, that's all that really matters.
Yeah. Now, the size matters of the console, because I know we were having issues with
the final one, the real console, the one that we get. Yes, because I will go back to the original Xbox One. It's horrendous.
Yeah,
so,
yes, it does that first Xbox was pretty huge.
Think about it. We still make fun of it to this day. It's a freaking microwave oven. It's gigantic. So when you look at what the PlayStation 4 was at launch compared to what the Xbox One was at launch, look, ultimately price matters, performance matters, the games matter, but just physical looks, I don't want a giant dude, it's 2020 at that point. I don't need a giant console sitting under my TV. I would rather have something that's more streamlined. I mean, look at all the advances that Xbox, as an example, has made with the Xbox One. I mean, this Xbox One X or even the Xbox One S, sleek design, whisper quiet, small, it's very small. That's what I want.
Yeah.
So hopefully that's what we're going to get with these next consoles. And I mean, the PS4 Pro is a jet engine, but it's still sleek, it's small or whatever. So I would hope that, they're going to continue that with PlayStation 5 and whatever Scarlet is.
The Slim looks pretty good too. Slim is really good.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Yeah. As I was just saying, the extreme of what PlayStation has done with the Pro, but yeah, that PS4 Slim or whatever you want to call it. Yeah, that thing's very sleek.
Yeah,
I like that as well.
Well, the rumor is that for the next gen console, especially for a PlayStation 5, this one you could play your old PlayStation games. So that means PlayStation 1, 2, 3, and 4 could be playable for this console. If that's true, I think that's good. We need.
Yeah, that doesn't surprise me. That because we talked about this forever. That at a minimum, PlayStation 5 has to do PS4 games. We've been saying that. So if they're going to be able to do the full gambit where we can go all the way back to PlayStation 1, it makes sense competitive-wise because Xbox is doing it. Xbox is already here in this generation is allowing you to go all the way back to the original Xbox games and play all the way up. And they've obviously already stated everything's going to be forward compatible from here on out with Xbox. So I would expect PlayStation to do something similar. Like I would even say with the controller wise, I mean, I know they're going to have a DualShock 5 and everything, but I would imagine your current DualShock 4 controllers will work on PlayStation as well, or PlayStation 5 as well.
Yeah, because if you actually think about it, the thing that's working out for Xbox, because one of the conversations I was having with, people just on social media is that not that many people play old games, right? And I'm like, but it works for Microsoft because they can not only they have that available that you can buy the game, but also being part of Xbox Game Pass. So if PlayStation have something like that, also with PlayStation Now in the future with even more old games from PlayStation 1 all the way to PlayStation 4, keep it cheap for $9.99, have it downloadable and also for stream. I think that's a great idea, man. You have options, if you can't find those games like online or at different stores, you can at least download them and play it. I think this is a great idea, man. Because if a company is gonna start promoting all these subscription services, might as well just put all the old games in there, man. Make everything good, man. Not only just depend on the like the latest games, have the old ones too, man. That's what I think.
Yeah, of course.
So just wanted to say that very quick there. By the way, Paris, what's up with Call of Duty, man? The file size, man, because I was freaked out for the PC version. I was like, man, that's a big file. I can't remember. It was like over 100 something gigs. Now for
wasn't it one? It was 140. Well, something, I think
now it's 140 also for consoles. I'm like 140.9 gigabytes. Why so much, man?
It's where we are. 4K textures, just the amount of things, maps, just everything that's happening. This is where we're going. This is why, excuse me, our hard drives are getting bigger and bigger to be able to support this stuff. So it doesn't look. We're old, so we're not used to seeing big things like this. But this is why, especially going into the next gen, I think 2 terabyte at a minimum is what these hard drives are going to be. Moving forward, I
don't think we might see that for the next gen, man. Like maybe the second consoles, maybe like the second versions, maybe 2 terabyte. But I think for launch of both PlayStation 5 and Xbox, I think it's gonna be a terabyte, man. I don't see them have put 2.
I can say right now. So like Seagate sent me the game drive for Xbox One. They sent me the Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order version of this. Dude, it's 2 terabytes because that's where it's all going, man. Because we need this size on console now to be able to do this. So it's like I have it for Jedi Fallen Order, and I also have one for Gears of War as well. So because that's just what it is. So it's like I'm plugging it in for myself and my son on our Xboxes because the more and more that we're downloading all these games, that 1 terabyte that comes internally just is not enough. So like I said, I expect it to be standard going into the next gen.
Yeah,
2 terabytes, I should
because
say.
the hard drive that I have is 4 terabytes, so I have all my games up in there, man. So but it's a bigger hard drive compared to yours, So yeah, just wanted to say that very quick. What's the next topic here, man? Oh, so Nintendo is still kicking butt, man. Nintendo Switch now surpassed 50 million here in the States. In North America, and it's been the best-selling video game console for 10 months in a row, Paris. They're doing a pretty good job, man. I think this has been a great year for Nintendo. Great year. Not only with software, but also hardware with the Nintendo Switch Lite. And I know they upgraded the original version of Nintendo Switch. So they're doing pretty good, man. I'm curious to see what are the plans for 2020 for next year, And the rumor is that we might see a Pro version also of Nintendo Switch sometime next year, man. So it makes sense.
Yeah.
It makes sense.
Yeah, it makes sense.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So what your thoughts, man? This has been a great year for Nintendo, man.
Yeah, dude, Witcher 3, like as an example, like we've been talking about here in the last week or so, The Witcher 3 is a thing on the Nintendo Switch now. That just gives you the scope of what they've been able to do. They have an amazing library of games. I mean, we're seeing more and more third-party support come to it. You got the Switch Lite now, which, in my opinion, has officially rest in peace to the 3DS. It's just where it's all going now.
Yeah.
Everything's going towards the Switch. You're able to play it in your home on your TV. You're able to take these AAA games on the go. It's the best of both worlds. Look, they still got some tweaks here and there to do with some of the Joy-Con, the stick drift, things like that. They can improve battery life a little bit more. But like you said, maybe that's what this Switch Pro will be at some point in 2020 is what we're all guessing here. And yeah, man, I'm excited for the future of Nintendo because they're doing it the right way. I mean, they had their hiccup with the Wii U, but they seem to have everything back on track with the Switch. And like I said, the games are fantastic on it. So what else could you ask for? Really?
Yeah. I'm having a blast with The Witcher. I've been playing that a lot. So it's just crazy how good the game looks, man. It's crazy. It's insane, man. So there was an interview with the marketing head at Xbox, Aaron Greenberg. It was for Xbox Magazine. So they were talking about Scarlet, of course, and he brought up this, man, that this console, yes, it could do 4K, but also it could do 120 frames per second. Your thoughts about that, Paris? During the interview about Scarlet from Aaron.
90% of the people aren't going to take advantage of it doing 120 frames per second because they're going to play it on their TVs, and most TVs aren't going to be able to hit that frame rate. It's great that the hardware itself will be able to do it, but let's be real here. It's not going to do 120 at 4K. I mean, I would be more impressed to see Scarlet and PlayStation 5 doing native 4K 60 frames per second. If they can do that, all right, now we're really in next-gen gaming because, I've been saying this the past couple of years. To me, that is the next logical step for these next-gen consoles. They got to do 4K. They got to do 60 frames per second. Any compromise beyond that is, why the hell are we upgrading to new hardware? Then we might as well keep what we have right now, in my opinion. So that's what I want to see more so because, like, the 8K, all that, whatever.
I find that really gimmicky, to tell you the truth.
It is. That's just a gimmick. That's just a marketing checkbox. So, like I said, 4K 60. I want to see, for people that will hook this up to a monitor to be able to do 120 would be great. If you can do 120 at 1440p, that would be amazing. 1080p, obviously, at a bare minimum. But that's the kind of I want it to see it support various resolutions: 4K, 1440p, 1080p. And if it can do the higher frames at the lower resolutions, that's great. But let's also be real here. They're not going to do those higher frames per second in multiplayer. Because we got to have some parity there. So again, if they can baseline 4K 60, now we can have 60 frames per second be the standard across our multiplayer games as well. That is more impressive to me, more so than, like I said, being able to do 120 frames on a console. PC is completely different story, but on a console, just hit that 60 frames per second as a standard from here on out on the next gen, and I'll be happy.
Look, man, I will say about one thing about next-gen consoles, man. To me, I really don't give a crap about power. Give me the games, man. If you don't have the games, all that is whatever to me. If you don't have the games, it's just a waste. You have to have software.
And I agree. Yeah. And I agree because the irony here is, think about it. We're at the end of this gen. That's where we're truly starting to see these developers take full advantage of this hardware. We're getting The Last of Us 2. We're getting Cyberpunk. We're getting a Watch Dogs Legion here at the end of the gen. versus, the kind of games that we had at the launch previously. So yeah, at launch next year, I want to see some amazing Death Stranding is another game that's about to come out as an example, but I want to see some amazing launch games. And, I'm going to keep saying it. Halo Infinite, to me, that's going to be the flagship launch game that comes out next year across both of these consoles. I mean, maybe we get a Horizon Zero Dawn 2, maybe we get something similar to that, but Halo Infinite, for me right now, is the biggest game that I'm anticipating going to the next gen. You got to imagine Ubisoft is going to have a next gen Assassin's Creed at launch, things like that. But Halo Infinite is the one that I'm really looking forward to because I want to know what it is and I want to know what 343 Industries is doing to push Halo to reinvent the IP and get people back into playing Halo again.
Yep. Now, the conversation I was having during the last episode, Power, I think you were not on. We had a listener that asked me about, do you think if Microsoft is going to remove Xbox Live Gold and just keep Xbox Game Pass and what was the...
Well, they already did.
What?
They already did, though. It's called Game Pass Ultimate. That's exactly what it is.
Yeah.
They want you buying that. They don't want you buying... They're basically saying, if you don't want this, they're giving you choice. But really, Game Pass Ultimate answers that question because it's giving you Game Pass on console, PC, gold is thrown in. That's what it is.
But I just feel like you really don't need Xbox Live Gold on PC because you still play online without Xbox Game Pass Ultimate.
No, but that's my point. They're basically saying if you're just playing Xbox on PC, there is a Game Pass subscription for you that does not include gold, that you don't need to worry about it. If you're playing on console and you want Game Pass, they're basically bundling it all together. That's what it is.
By the way, speaking of Xbox, Paris, so the other day, I found out that there's the 10-minute giveaway at Taco Bell. You get the Xbox Elite controller and also like a limited edition Xbox One. So I went to Taco Bell. I'm like thinking, okay, you know what? Maybe I could win something because, shout out to Arctic. And I know there was somebody else from our community that won a free Xbox One going through the whole Taco Bell giveaway and everything. So I went, bought the $5 box, put in the code. I didn't win. That sucks because I was very jealous seeing Paris getting the Xbox Elite Controller Series 2, which I got to play it and also interview the team during E3. And this is a very, very sexy controller, man. Like, I love the first Xbox Elite controller. So this is the first time that Paris is actually playing this, right? The Xbox Elite controller. You got to play it during E3, Paris, at all? Or I got to see.
No.
Okay.
Gamescom.
Okay.
Gamescom.
Okay. So let's talk about the controller, Paris. Go for it, man.
So yeah. First and foremost, thank you to Xbox. They sent over the Elite Series 2 controller to me earlier this week. So I've had it now, I don't know, about 3-4 days, something like that. And I tweeted this out the other day, and the comments are hilarious. But this is the best controller I've ever used. And I don't say that lightly because, hey, I have an Astro C40. I have like 3 different SCUF controllers across Xbox and PlayStation. Obviously, the original DualShock 4 and the original Xbox One controller. So I have them all. But this controller, this Elite Series 2, for everything that you're able to do with it, number one is the comfort. They have the grips completely around the controller now. You pick it up, whether you're holding it on the top, bottom, whatever, you have that grip. So you don't feel like this thing is going to slip out of your hands. If your hands are sweaty, whatever, very solid grip on it. The other thing is just the customization that you're able to do with this. The fact that, these joysticks, I mean, you literally just pull them out. You can swap them at will. It's super easy. You don't need like a key thing to do it or anything like that. It's very easy to do. Even on the back with the paddles, like I've actually taken the paddles off right now. Because I've not been using them, but the paddles, everything is high quality, easy to swap those out. The triggers, there's 3 different levels of tension that you can do with the triggers, as far as if you want the quick, like just a quick press to just shoot really fast, or if you want the long push, or you want something in between, you're able to set that independently on each trigger. Very easy to do as well. But then it also does come with a key if you want to fine tune that even more than that. again, very easy to do. The D-pad, because you see on all the marketing, they have that circular D-pad. That's easy to swap out. You can put a traditional D-pad on here as well. Both are very responsive. And again, like I said, with the joysticks, you have the different level of joysticks. You have the indented, you have the dome, you have a tall one, short one, whatever you want to do, you can easily swap these out back and forth. And the other big thing about this that I enjoy just on a personal level is it does USB-C now, which just makes it so much easier to plug and play versus using that mini USB. Plug it in, easy to charge it in the wall. You could use it comes with that case. It comes with a charger inside the case, but you can actually take it out if you want, but you can actually charge it inside the case. Again, you're able to keep all your joysticks in there. You're able to keep the paddles in there. It's just a quality package overall, man. It's everything that you want it to be, but the most important thing, which people really care about, is how does it feel when you're actually playing a game? Very responsive. Like I said, it just feels good in your hand. I mean, look, we've been saying forever that the Xbox controller, be it the 360 or now into the Xbox One, is the default controller that most people use, right? It is considered the best controller. So this Series 2 iteration on what they did with the Elite Series 1 just takes it to another level, because like I've been saying on social media, is it just feels expensive. It just feels expensive when you pick it up. This does not feel like a cheap plastic-y product. It feels very quality. The weight on it, it's not too light, it's not too heavy. It has a good balance in between. And I think a lot of that has to do with them now having the internal charger now versus the batteries or the battery pack that you have in that takes a lot of the weight out. So very easy to use. Obviously it has Bluetooth, so you can connect in any Bluetooth device, iOS, whatever you want. And then obviously it's an Xbox controller, so you can hook it up to your Xbox controllers. You can connect it to the PC. Works on both just fine. I mean, it's great. This is, in my opinion, the best controller that I've ever used, and right now the leader in the clubhouse for anyone looking for those expensive, customizable. Excuse me, I'm from the South. Customizable controllers that you want to be able to use. And look, it's not cheap. It's $180 US if you want to buy it. And that pauses me on just comments that I've seen on social media, because I have an unboxing video. If you go to my YouTube channel, you can check that out. And, I've just been posting pictures and everything on social media, and the comments are hilarious. Like I got one just now, right before we recorded, which made me laugh.
Please read it.
I'm hoping I can find it here really quick. And I'm doing this real time. So this guy says to me, he goes, hey, because I had said it's the best controller I'm using. And he goes, yeah, that's great until 3 months from now when the grips fall off. I'll stick with my Scuff. And I find that hilarious because people are like upset at me for saying that I really enjoy the controller. But what else am I supposed to say? Of course it's not 3 months from now, a year from now. I don't know what's going to happen then. I can only tell you what's happening right now today, having it in my hands. And if you compare it to an original Xbox One controller or compare it to the original Elite controller, the build quality is night and day. So yeah, I know the original had issues with, it breaking and things like that, and just, the grips running off. But this one just, again, I've only had it for a few days. I don't think this one's going to have that problem, but I'm not Miss Leo, so I can't see the future. I don't know what's going to happen 90 days from now. But as we stand here today, it's just a quality product. So the other question that I've been getting a lot is it worth the $180 price? And I answer it this way. If you're a hardcore gamer, if you're into playing a lot of just competitive gaming and hours and hours and hours of gaming, and you want that slight edge that potentially a customizable controller like this could give you, it's probably worth it. Because obviously a lot of people buy Scuff controllers, people buy that Astro C40, things like that. So this absolutely fits into that market of expensive controllers. But you have to answer that question if you're hardcore enough of a gamer or competitive enough of a gamer that you're willing to drop $180. Because I got people sending me, oh, of course you say that, hashtag freebie and all that stuff. Look, what do you want me to do?
Oh my God.
Yes, Xbox sent me the controller. Yes, I got it for free. But would I invest my money into this? Yes, because I play games enough that yes, I would spend the money on that, but that's my choice. And you have to answer that question for yourself. All I can tell you is this, that when you pick it up, there is absolutely a difference between this controller and the standard Xbox One controller.
See, the first controller that came out a couple of years ago, I actually bought it. I know the first time we heard about this, and we even spoke with Aaron. Remember this, Paris? A couple of years ago, we were like, man, but why? I think the first one was $150, I think it was, the controller. And we even asked him, like,
200. I thought it was 200 at launch.
I can't remember.
Yeah, it was.
I know. I know. I bought it.
Yeah,
you know, so we were having this discussions between us, like, you know, behind the scenes. We were like, you know, with Paris and Pete, like, man, but that's very expensive. But at that time, we couldn't understand why an expensive controller like this was like on that price, right? But once I bought it, I get it now. It's something that it's an investment, and if you're gonna make that investment, you already know it's gonna be some high price controller. But remember too, man, like once I got that, I customized it like similar to yours, Paris, the way how you like it, and it lasted me. It still to this day, it works. It's working fine for me, man. Yeah, it had some couple issues here and there, but I think controller wise, it was like so worth it, man. So worth it. And now I know PlayStation have theirs now, right? Is it still with the same company, or is there actually their own?
PlayStation doesn't have an official controller
license, right?
You know, it's people like Scuff, Astro obviously has their version of it, things like that. To another question I didn't answer on here was the battery life. What is it? It's rated at around 40 hours. I have not recharged this thing since I've gotten it, and it's been fine. I mean, it doesn't seem like the battery's going to go out anytime soon. So again, battery life is good, and it's obviously rechargeable, like I said, via USB-C. So it just makes it a lot more convenient. I know people are asking me, where have I been using it on? I have used it on the Xbox One X, and I've used it on the PC. It's just been flawless on both. No issues at all.
What games?
Like I said, the controls.
What games?
Does it matter?
No, just want to know, like, what type of games?
No, I'm not. The games that I play.
Wow.
Play.
You see?
No, I've been, of course, dude, of course. I've been playing Destiny 2 and Division 2. So, yeah. I mean, it ain't hard on what I've been playing. And yeah, it's been fun. It's been good. Because, matter of fact, I was streaming the other day, and I started out when I was streaming. I was playing Destiny 2 on the Xbox, Danny. I was playing Destiny 2.
Oh, really? Nice.
And I started off using the original Xbox controller, and then midway through, I swapped over to the Elite while I was playing, and it was good. It was
now,
fine.
For games like that, for like Destiny and the Division, right, and using the controller, the trigger, which version are you using from the triggers? I know you said there are 3 different ones, right?
I'll tell you right now. So, and this won't show up to people watching on Twitch. So, my aim, the left trigger, I have at default. So I have to do a full press down to do aim by sight, aim down sights. But for my shooting button, the right trigger, I have it at the medium setting. So it's not like just super clicky, but I don't have to do a full press down to get my shots off, and it works. Dude, I love it. That's just my preference. So that's how I'm using it. And I do that the same on the Astro C40 as well, just the same setup. And that works for me. Also, as far as my joysticks, whatever you call it, I use the short one for my movement, but then I use the tall stick for my aiming. It just works for me. That's what I like to do. And again, you can swap this to whatever you want it to be. It really just comes down to your comfort level. And I use the, what do you call it? Like the wide indented joystick, because I like that press-in kind of just grip that I get with it versus the dome. And that works for me as well. But again, that's the beauty of these type of controllers, is you just have that customization to do whatever works for you. Concave, that's what the chat told me as I break the fourth wall. Concave, that's the joystick that I use. That's what I like to use. So thank you. See, I'm from St. Petersburg. I don't know nothing.
All right, cool, man. Anything else about the controller, Paris? Anything else?
No, it's great. And again, thank you to Xbox for sending it over to me. That was a lot of fun. I know everyone kind of got it on the same day, so you saw these revealed tweets and unboxing videos and all that. So yeah, thank you to Xbox for that. I really appreciate it.
Yeah, hopefully I could buy mine maybe during Christmas or in January. I'll buy that. And most likely we could use this for the next gen consoles, right? So
yeah, and that was the other big question. I'm glad you reminded me that a lot of people were worried, does this work with Scarlett? And I had James Shields, who works at Xbox and is kind of the head of all their hardware stuff. You know, when it comes to these controllers, like he was big with the adaptive controller, things like that. Really cool guy. We got to meet him at E3 a few times, but he even responded to me on Twitter and was like, "Yep, absolutely. All our Xbox One controllers will be forward compatible to Scarlett."
Huh.
So not just the Elite, all of them, even the original Xbox One that doesn't have Bluetooth will work with Scarlett. So that's good.
Nice. Now, my question is, are they going to have at least a different type of controller just for Scarlett? Like, it's just going to be a regular?
I'm sure they will. I'm sure they will. But, dude, think about it, though. This design has been working for almost, what is it? When did the 360S controller come out? Ever since then. So that was
2005.
like 12 years ago?
2005. But wait a minute. The only difference, but what about the first controller? The Xbox, the original Xbox, wasn't it the same kind of? No?
No. That was the Duke. When they ditched the Duke and went to that
S,
whatever that you can S design, that has been the default best controller since then. And obviously the Xbox One controller version of it iterated on it, and I would expect Scarlett to iterate on it. But this design, the way that it's used, they're not changing that. Why would you?
For them.
You don't change what works. Yeah, absolutely.
The only negative that I remember from the 360 was the D-pad was kind of meh compared to...
And that's what they improved. And that's what they improved on this. So that's what I mean. I seriously doubt, the Scarlett one will be slightly different, but not enough that you're like, oh my God, I wasted my money on getting this Elite controller now because I need to get the one that comes in the box with Scarlett. I would imagine this Elite Series 2 will still be the best controller to use on Scarlett.
You're listening to Gamertag Radio.
All right, support for Gamertag Radio comes from Manscaped, who is #1 in men's below-the-belt grooming. Manscaped offers precision engineered tools for your family jewels, and this is a legit product. I've been using this now for a couple months, and even Paris too. Look, guys, you have to take care of yourself. You definitely gotta, trim down there, and you also gotta be careful, man. If you get cut, man, that's one of the issues that we've been having now with previous products, and I think this is the one that I highly recommend it, especially if you want to take care of yourself, if you're going to go on a date and so on. So the Manscaped redesigned the electric trimmer. So their Lawnmower 2.0, that's the one that I have. It has a skin-safe technology, so the trimmer won't nick, won't cut you. It won't happen with that, man. So I use this now all the time, especially when I'm traveling. I take it with me. And look, man, accident can happen, man. You have to be careful. And this is the product that I like because it's well designed. Well designed. So not only that, this also comes with the package. The Lawnmower 2.0 comes with like a gel for like body wash. You also use your hair. And this is super legit. But here's the thing. We have a deal for you, Gamertag Radio listeners, if you would like to take advantage of this. And when I say this, highly recommended, because we even had a couple of our listeners hit me up through social media and said that they used the code and they actually order the product. So take advantage of this, man. Get 20% off plus free shipping. Go to manscaped.com and just use our promo code GTR. And you get a cheaper price, man. You get the whole package. You get the Lawnmower 2.0, everything sent to you. Free shipping. Once again, 20% off, free shipping with the code GTR at manscaped.com. That's 20% off with free shipping at manscaped.com. Just use our code GTR. And if you order it, let us know online through social media, and we definitely will give you a shout out, man. All right. Thanks to Manscaped for sponsoring this week's episode of Gamer Tag Radio.
This is Gamer Tag Radio. Voicemail at 786-2737-GTR.
See, one of the things that I like about the PlayStation 4 controller and also even the Nintendo Switch controller is the share button. It's a lot easier to just capture video, capture screenshots, and just share it online, right? But with Xbox, you have to use the big home button. You have to click it twice, and then it's like a longer process compared to the other two systems. So I hope they have something like that for Scarlet, right? Like an easier way to just capture videos and screenshot instead of clicking twice the home button.
Yeah.
You know? So let's see. All right, Paris, that's good, man. Now, I'm watching Twitch right now, Paris, and I see you have a nice little chair in the background there, man. Looking really good now. A professional Twitch streamer now with with that gaming chair in the back. So tell us a little bit about this, man.
So the good folks over at EwinRacing, they're a game chair company. They reached out to me a few days ago, and they saw that I had a need for a gaming chair, and they offered Gamertag Radio to become an affiliate with EwinRacing. So part of that was they sent me this chair. So I now have a gaming chair. I have the Night Series gaming chair for it. Super easy to assemble as well. It was like I was shocked that I got it so quickly because it was Saturday I got it. And all of a sudden my dog's going crazy at the door and it's FedEx. I was like, what the hell is FedEx doing here? And it's this giant box. And I was like, oh my God, it's EwinRacing. So they had already sent me the chair. I got it yesterday, assembled it. Didn't even take 30 minutes to put it together. I think probably even less if I hadn't stopped at one point. But like I said, super easy to assemble, and yeah, it is extremely comfortable. And thank God I just went from my old ghetto Staples chair that I've had for like the last 5-6 years to this, and just the quality of it is just so much better. Just, that this leather design on it. I got the pillow, in the back of my head, and there's also like kind of that lumbar pillow down at the bottom that also just gives you that extra support. And I was playing, for a few hours last night, didn't have that fatigue that you would normally get, so when I'm sitting in my old standard ghetto chair. So I'm really liking it so far. This thing can lean like all the way back, like not completely flat, but damn near close to it. It's really good so far. I'm really enjoying it, but I've only been using it for a day now, so I'll have more impressions on it later. But
nice.
We also have an offer for people. If you go to EwinRacing.com and you want to order a chair on your own, and you put in our code GTR, you'll get 25% off.
Oh, nice.
And look, just full transparency here. Not only do you get 25% off, we get to wet our beak a little bit too. We get a little taste of that as well. So if you're in the market for a gaming chair, go to EwinRacing, use our code GTR. You'll get 25% off on that. So it's an awesome thing. And again, I want to thank EwinRacing for reaching out and getting me this gaming chair. And this is exactly what I needed for my setup. I couldn't ask for anything more.
Nice. 20% off. So
25%
off. Take advantage of this, guys. Take advantage of that. And plus, it will help us, right? It will support GTR too, man.
Absolutely. Like I said, we get to wet our beak just a little bit. Little taste. Cool, man. So, well, Paris, now you look like a professional streamer now, man. That's it. Yeah. To be full transparent about just everything. I am in the process of just upgrading my entire setup. I need to get another Elgato key light. I just have one, and my other light is this old ghetto ass light over here, but I'm going to replace that with another key light. And then the big upgrade I want to do by the end of this year is going to just be a full on camera setup. Because obviously I've been doing more YouTube videos, but I want to get a better camera. I want to use Cam Link with that. And obviously we're at events doing video interviews, things like that. So that's the end game for what I want to do. So this chair is just another piece of the puzzle of that. But again, I'm very thankful for all these opportunities and being able to, have the chance to go out to these events and just, interview people and do all that. And if I'm doing it, I want to do it the right way.
Dope. All right, so we're gonna answer some fan mail questions here, Paris. So here goes. It's time for
I'm not done. I have another product.
Wow. Okay. What is it?
I have another one.
What's other product? Because I have no idea.
So Plantronics sent me, and this goes all the way back to Gamescom. You probably even remember some of these emails that were going back and forth. Back during Gamescom, Plantronics debuted their new wireless PC headset, and it's the Rig 700 HD, and this is their wireless headset. I'm going to be frank about this because, you know, Pete and I have talked about the Rig 800 XL that we've been using a lot on the PC and on the Xbox One. It does Dolby Atmos and all this. This does not do Dolby Atmos. This is, for all intents and purposes, a stereo headset, but it is wireless. I hate to say this because I don't like to talk negative about products if I don't have to, but this one I do. This is a very like I'm wearing the Astro 850 right now. So, and there's a reason I'm wearing the Astro 850 and not wearing this on the stream right now. The build quality on this is poor. Like I was just talking about that Xbox One Elite where I'm like, it feels expensive. This feels very cheap. And that's not good. Excuse me. And I almost feel like I put this thing on my head. It's like it's going to freaking break. Like I have an unboxing video if you go to my YouTube channel, but when you compare it to what the Rig 800 is to what the 700 is, it feels like a step down. It feels like a step back for what Rig was doing. It just feels like they cut production costs going from the 800 to this. I still prefer the 800 over the 700, and that's unfortunate. I mean, I do like this mic design that they have. You know, you can pull it out, it comes out, but just this, it's not even a band headset. I mean, like there's just this foam here at the top of it, and it almost just feels like I put this thing on my head and I got a giant head. The thing's gonna go snap, and I don't want to do that. So, yeah, I gotta admit I'm a little disappointed in this because, especially in this gaming headset market now, where like you said, you got Dolby Atmos that you can do on a lot of these headsets. I mean, even the Astro does Dolby Digital, and you can switch to the Astro thing and all that. But like I said, just compared to their own previous model, this does not stand up. And the price that you pay for this thing, man, is just, yeah, it's not worth, in my opinion, what you have to pay for it. So I don't know. I unfortunately can't recommend this to anyone because they want $130 for this thing. I am not spending $130 on the Rig 700. I'm just not. Now that Rig 800, which is around the same price, go get that if you had to. And it has better battery life than 800. The 800 does 24 hours of battery life. This does 12.
Ooh.
Doesn't do Dolby Atmos. Doesn't come with it, I should say. Whereas the 800 did come with that. So I unfortunately have to say buyer beware on this. There are better options on the market than getting the Rig 700 HD, and it's PC only. You can't use this you can use it on the Xbox, but wait, no, you can't because their USB, because there's like a USB transmitter that you have to plug in. I don't think it works in there. Actually, I will admit I've not tested it on there because this does say for PC. But I'll have to test that. So I'm not even sure if you can use it on Xbox, but that also brings in, since it's not rated for Xbox, microphone's not going to work on Xbox. That's for sure. So if you can't use a microphone on it, doesn't do Dolby Atmos, you're trying to spend $130 on it, there's better options on the market. I got to give this a pass. I do. But I do want to thank Plantronics for sending this to me, for allowing me to review it and to talk about it. Unfortunately, I think this one's a miss.
Well, at least they tried. At least they tried. Keeping it real since 2005. That's how you do it, man.
Yeah, I mean, hey, just got to be honest. I mean, you can't, just because you get a product and just go, oh my God, it's the greatest thing ever, because as someone said to me on Twitter, it's a freebie, right? It's like, okay, yes, I got it for free. But the one thing that I will never do is I'm never going to lie on here and say something's great and it's not. And this is not. So, just being honest.
All right. Now, can I do fan mail now? Or that's it? You have.
I think I'm done with all my products this week. So yes, you can. Let's do fan mail.
But thank you. All right, it's time for fan mail.
Fan mail at gamertagradio.com.
All right, so we have a couple questions here. This one, I'm going to keep it short. This one is from Chris on Twitter. He asked, he was wondering about our thoughts on smartphones smartphones turning into legit platforms for gaming. Do you think that can get enough power out of them to make consoles obsolete? Paris, Yes or no? Do you see that in the future?
No, I do not.
Okay, same here. I can't see that. Maybe it'll go to like the standard of like maybe a Nintendo Switch, right? Xbox 360, that type of power, but surpassing Xbox One, PlayStation 4, I don't see that. Not now.
No, I don't either. Yeah, definitely not. Hey, Gamertag Radio. This is Caleb from Huntington Beach. Shout out OC, baby. Wanted to go on a mini rant regarding Microsoft Xbox. I believe they are going to have a strong year in the fall holiday season with the release of the Surface Neo, Duo, Project Scarlet, and hopefully Project xCloud, all releasing is what he's saying, all releasing in that time frame. This shows they want to tackle every single market and go against the newer subscription service that are available for mobile devices such as the Google Play Pass and Apple Arcade. As you guys have said many times before, the competition is no longer how many devices a company can sell, is more about how many customers can be gained and be sustained through their subscription service. I know I'm a little biased about Xbox, is your name Danny Pena, but I do not want to hear your thoughts regarding this because I do want to hear your thoughts regarding. I can't read. I'm sorry. Excuse me. Microsoft was like, that wasn't funny. They're trying to get me.
Choke.
Yeah, let me take that back. So I do want to hear your thoughts regarding this because this time next year could be big. Could be a big win. I'm trying to read this and because there's some grammar errors here because this time next year could be a big win that Microsoft may need. That's basically what he's saying. So I get what he's saying. So yeah, Microsoft obviously, and like we've talked before, they've shifted a lot of this towards, look, they want you to subscribe to their services more so than just buy individual games and products, right? Because if once they get you in their ecosystem, they got you. And that's where they're trying to go with Game Pass and all this stuff. Obviously, Scarlet's coming out. You know, we got new Surface stuff, all that. I get what he's saying. Project xCloud, the whole thing. And he's right. This time next year has to be huge for the Xbox brand. It has to be. There's no if or hope. It has to be because they're going all in with the next gen with Scarlet. They're betting on Game Pass. And then, like I said, they're taking a game like Halo Infinite to be the flagship for everything that they're doing. They're hoping the combination of that with the cloud streaming will get customers to buy into their subscription services and go in for the long haul into their ecosystem. This is why they did the Game Pass Ultimate deal for $1. And if you had Legacy Gold or Game Pass stuff, you know, it just auto upgraded you to that. So like myself, I have Game Pass Ultimate until 2022 because they want to get me used to using Game Pass so that when that subscription is up, I'm going to keep paying for it. And there's a good chance that I will because I think that subscription service is fantastic. I mean, your mileage may vary depending on how you like Xbox games, but with all the studio acquisitions that they have had to have more exclusive content, not to mention this Game Pass thing, they're bringing more indie and third-party people in as well. And they're making this next-gen hardware, which when it launches next year, will absolutely compete with high-end gaming PCs in 2020. Beyond that, obviously, technology moves on. But they're going to be at the cutting edge technology-wise, both on the software side and on the hardware side in 2020. And that's why they're pushing all this. And it absolutely is a huge year for them. But it's also a huge year for Sony too. It's also a huge year for Nintendo. It's also a huge year for a lot of these third-party companies as publishers as well that they're bringing their games out. 2020 period is a huge year. The battle is who gets our money. And who does it the right way gets our money, and the ones that don't will not. It's really as simple as that.
Now, does it matter NPDs now of hardware every month now starting next year? Because to me, I think it doesn't matter anymore.
No, it does. It doesn't for Xbox. You want to know why? Because they're clearly telling you we don't care if you buy our hardware anymore. Subscribe. That's all they care about. They would rather have strong Game Pass numbers than hardware.
That's
numbers.
true. That's true. Because I was having this conversation with a couple people offline that if you have Xbox One X and you can't afford Scarlet, you can still play these next-gen next-gen games on your Xbox One X. So you're fine. Another thing too, Paris, look, I'm always walking around the city here in New York, and there's billboards everywhere of Gears 5 still to this day. And the thing that is promoting is play it now on Xbox Game Pass. if you go to Times Square, Paris, billboards in Times Square is not cheap. Not cheap at all. It's a huge billboard, I think, by where they broadcast ABC around that area on top. Huge billboard of Gears 5, again, promoting Xbox Game Pass. That's the future, man. It's not even about buy it at your local retail store. No, subscribe to our service. And we're going to see that a lot. And don't be surprised if we start seeing that too with Sony on next gen. If they're going to start promoting their subscription service. I can see that too, man, in the future. I definitely see that.
No, look, it's where it's going. If Game Pass is a hit, look, Ubisoft is doing it with Uplay Plus. EA's doing it with Origin Premier. If it's a hit, if it's working, PlayStation's going to do it eventually. Right now, they have zero incentive to do it because everyone's buying their games, everyone's buying their hardware. They're having a record number of sales. Why change? But going into next gen, if Microsoft sees some market share and they start pushing higher than what they were doing this current gen, you better bet your ass they're going to change it. Why wouldn't they?
And those people that subscribe to their the Project X Cloud, and they don't have a console, but they subscribe to the service and just playing on their phone, tablet, that's going to be a huge, huge market if they do this right. If Microsoft does this right, I think it could be a successful thing for them, man. It's a huge success for that, man. So, yeah, it's great. All right, so this another one, another email here. I don't know this is how you pronounce his name. Is it Gokhan? Sorry if I messed up your name, man.
What? Gohan? Like gamer?
No,
like gamer tag, like Dragon Ball? Like Dragon Ball Z?
With a K.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
Yeah.
Just call him Gokhan.
Okay, just the same.
Gokhan. Yes.
All right, so it's about our gamer tags, and I know we talked about this years ago, but he writes, "Hey, Danny and Paris, how do you guys come up with your gamer tags? Is there a story behind it? Keep up the great work, guys. Love the show." Well, for me, my cousins, we all have nicknames, so we always like make fun of each other and everything. So when we were kids, we used to watch USA Up All Night. Do you remember that, Paris? USA Up All Night, hosted by Gilbert.
Oh yes, I do.
Gilbert Godfrey. And if for those who don't know who's Gilbert Godfrey, he's a comedian. He also did the voice for Aladdin, the movie. So make sure to check that out. So yeah, he has a very annoying voice. And my cousins would call me Godfrey all the time when we were kids. And I just, throughout the years, I just flipped the name and I just put it as Godfrey. So I changed that, I think, was during high school days. So that's how I got my gamer tag. So Paris, what about you?
It's none of your business.
Well, you say that to Gokhan. You say that to him.
Gokhan, it's none of your business. I got my gamer tag. No, mine's a combination of two things. So the 696 comes from, I used to be in an Unreal Tournament clan called the 696 Crew. It was the 90s, whatever. But that's where it came from, the 696. Vicious comes from the villain of Cowboy Bebop. Because at that time, and I just talked about this on Remember When with Jay, because what I realized, like, I was a fan of that in the early 2000s, like 2001, 2002, you know what I mean? So that's when the Xbox Live beta was coming out, or alpha was out, that summer of 2002, and you had to pick a name. And I was obviously a huge fan of Cowboy Bebop during that time, so my first thought was Vicious. And I remember I wanted to get Vicious, and the name wasn't available. I found out later, Vicious is one of the banned names on Xbox Live. Like, I think they've released it since now, I think. So someone may be Vicious out there, I don't know. But it was a banned name that you couldn't use. So because I couldn't use Vicious, I was like, well, I'll be Vicious 696. So that I just combined the two. It's like, oh, that's my clan name. I'm Vicious and 696. So that's where that came from. And yeah, I've just stuck to it obviously ever since, and I use it everywhere now. So anywhere you look, social media, whatever, it's Vicious 696 everywhere.
All right, cool. All right, but thanks for the email. Here's another one. This is from Recon. He posted this on Discord. It's a very long email, so I'm going to keep it very, very short. All right, let's see. All right, hey Godfrey, hey Paris. As we're getting closer to the end of the year, listening to the podcast whenever video games are rated year over year 2007 always dominates the conversation, as it should, with a long list of fantastic games. Looking forward to 2020. How do you think the first year of the new decade is shaping up to compete?
It's not. It's not. 2007 was such lightning in a bottle. It'll be very hard to compete with that until we actually have a year that we can look back and go, wait, oh my God, 2007. Wow. Those games were as good as 2007. I don't think so. And again, we just simply don't know what's coming. I mean, we know early on Cyberpunk, Watch Dogs, things like that. We know Halo's coming at the end of the year, potentially an Assassin's Creed. But and I guess The Last of Us 2 is in 2020 as well. But man, I mean, you're talking Murderer's Row in 2007, man. There was just some amazing games that came out in that year. It is very hard for me to say that something theoretically is going to compete with that until I actually see it. And look, I'm just doing this off the top of my head, and I know I'll leave out something. BioShock, Mass Effect, Halo 3, Call of Duty 4, Uncharted, the Orange Box, which had Portal in it. I know I'm missing something. Mario Galaxy. I'm just saying, it is a murderer's row of.
Oh, well, Crackdown. Was it Crackdown 2007?
Yeah, it was, but that game isn't
up
in this.
Here's
list.
another one.
Here's another one.
Ghost Recon Advanced Warfighter 2.
That wasn't 2007.
Xbox 360. I'm looking at it right now. 2000.
It was? I thought it was 2006.
No, 2007. It came out March 6, 2007.
Okay, I was wrong about that. Hey, the original Witcher was 2007.
Oh, really? Yeah, you're right. You're right.
Yeah. I'm just looking at the list.
I'm looking at the list here too.
Funny.
Yeah, I'm looking. It's a very, very long.
No, but we get the point because we're like dead air at this point. But yeah, the fact is, look at all those amazing genre-defining games that came out in 2007. It's going to be very hard, like I said, until we actually see it happen to compare. Oh, and the original Assassin's Creed was 2007.
Oh, was it
well.
2007?
That's another one.
Oh, snap! Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying, man. There was a lot of great games that came out that year. Crisis was also in 2007.
Oh, crap. Yeah, that was a very, very, very crazy year, especially Call of Duty, man. Because, man, I remember what
changed multiplayer.
Yeah, it changed multiplayer. Period. I remember when the beta came out, dude. Everybody was up there, man, playing that nonstop. That even Bungie was still trying to figure out what to do next with Halo, man, because of that game. It was set.
That's not true.
Oh, they did.
That's not
Reach.
That's
Halo,
not true. It was Halo. That was Halo. That was Halo 3. Are you kidding
but Halo
me?
Reach.
That was Halo 3 in 2007.
Halo Reach, they kind of changed the multiplayer because they wanted to make a little bit different.
No, you're saying You're saying after.
That's what I'm saying. After.
You're saying okay. I thought you were saying in 2007. I'm like, no, they weren't.
No. Because I feel like that was a game changer. Call of Duty Modern Warfare was a game changer for multiplayer. So, dude, everybody had to step up their game. Every studio after that, you know.
Oh no. That I agree. I obviously mistook what you were saying. No, I agreed. After everything changed after 2007, multiplayer wise, everyone was trying to compete with what Call of Duty was doing, and and you are correct on that. So I apologize. That Bungie, they were definitely reaching with Reach with the armor lock nonsense and all that stuff they were doing because they were trying to basically make a Halo Call of Duty game.
Yeah,
and it didn't work.
But thanks for the emails. Make sure to continue to send us questions. fanmail@gamertagradio.com or give us a call 786-273-7GTR. Once again, 786-273-7GTR. Send your questions or go to speakpipe.com/gamertagradio and you can leave a voice message through there using your mobile device or your computer. Super easy and it's free. And if it's a great question, we'll play it on the podcast, man, in the future. So, anything else, Paris, before we wrap it up, man? Yeah, this was like a great conversation. The whole episode. Yeah, that's some stuff.
No, I think we're good. We're at about an hour now, so yeah, I think we're pretty good here.
Awesome. All right, head over to gamertagradio.com, post your comments, feedback, and make sure to subscribe. You can find us on any podcast app. Just first search for Gamertag Radio. We're there. And post a review if you can. That will help us out big time. Also, donations. Want to help us out? You like the content? that we've been releasing weekly, twice a week. Go to donate.gamertagradio.com. That's donate.gamertagradio.com. And donate, help us out here. And that's about it, man. Until next time, we're out. Peace.
Thanks for listening to Gamertag Radio. Be sure to like us on Facebook and follow us on Twitter.